Sir, can you tell about yourself? How your childhood and how your school and college and education?
Yeah, my name is HARSHA GOVARDHANA. I'm born and raised in Hyderabad. I have about totally 28 years of experience. In 20 years in corporate and about 8 years in entrepreneurship. This is my experience. My schooling and all that happened in Hyderabad. I studied in Nuptunga school in Kachiguda, which is in Kachiguda, and then I studied in Badruka. I've done my post-graduation in industrial relations and personal management, and I then got into job into human resources. That time we used to call it personal management and industrial relations, so I got into that. My first company was a management consulting company. I was working with Mr. A.K. Rao, who is a very famous management consulting company. And subsequently, I worked with Mr. A.K. Rao's client called Avanti Corp Electricals Limited. And from there, I moved to a company called SOL Pharmaceuticals and worked in pharma. So if you look at my background, started my consulting work and then moved into say manufacturing electrical switches, and then into pharma, which is SOL Pharmaceuticals, and from there I went to Apollo Hospitals, where I had a long stint. And briefly I also worked in Satyam Computers and Carvi. So if you look at my experience, I have experience in manufacturing electrical products, pharma company, which is both formulations and bulk drugs. I also have experience in hospitals and hospital-related companies like third-party administrator, healthcare insurance company, part of Apollo Hospitals Group. And then went into Satyam, managing largely, commercial healthcare banking, which is BFS, that is banking, financial services, and also insurance division. So that is the background that I have. And from there I came out and I started Sarvagnya Solutions. So with all my different experience, industry experience, and also my management experience in human resources, as well as working as a CEO and board director, all that is now helpful to our clients who are in different sectors. They are in cement, IT, hospitals, pharma companies, so you name them, our clients are in that.
And the second question is, what influence that you can start a company and what belief you have?
See, my belief has always been to be on my own, do some consulting related work. So I had a variety of experience, in human resources, in operations, and running the business, a variety of experience, and all that had helped me in actually starting a consulting company. So our consulting company is now focused in two areas. One, of course, it will continue to provide consulting services in the areas of strategic human resources, organization development, and also assessments. These are basically psychometric assessments and talent assessments. And from there we also moved into other areas of technology like e-learning. Most of our assessments are also online. So I have used my past experiences to the benefit of our organization, and also we felt that companies would significantly benefit from the kind of background that we have got.
And actually, what is your company and what activities now doing in the operations going on?
So our company has got two areas. So one, this we have started in 2010. 2010, and we have started this company in 2010, and we started off largely as a management consulting company with specific focus in the areas of organization development, which is basically developing culture in the organization, developing leadership in the organization, to also putting HR, human resource department processes, policies, all of that, and also providing leadership development training programs. So this is basically how we started. Today we have those things, But the add-ons that we have done is we brought in psychometric assessments into this organization. So when we talk about assessments, we do assessments for entrepreneurs who are at a top level, business owner level. We do for top management, which is like vice president level people. We also do for mid-level. So the tools that we use, like Entrepreneur Edge for entrepreneurs, emotional intelligence, it's the only psychometric tool which we have in this world called EQI 2.0. So we use that particular tool for developing leadership talent. And we also use tools like MBTI. MBTI is Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. And I also authored some talent assessment tools, which companies like Hyundai Motors, for example, has been using it for the last 6 years for developing their talent. So we have these tools, and this is the cutting edge that we provide to the organizations. So that is one area. The other area that we are now migrating into is on e-learning. So basically in e-learning, what we will be doing is we will be providing 3 types of services. One is that we will provide a learning management system, which is a pure play platform for people to host their training programs and assign it to their employees, because employees, if they are working in different locations, it is easy to use a tool and then assign it to these people. The second thing which we do, which most e-learning companies don't do, and we would do that, is about content development, where we provide content for organizations for effective learning experience. So that will be our edge. And the third thing that we will be providing, which we are in discussions with some international universities, is about tying up with these universities to provide certified e-learning programs. So this is a broad understanding about the services that we provide.
And what your vision and mission for your company?
See, our vision and mission for the company is to provide world-class services in the areas that we are in. So when we provide consulting services, we say that we need to have consulting as well as e-learning solutions, technology solutions that we provide. We say that we should have 3 things. One, we should have the know-how. Know-how meaning that we should know in the services that we are providing, we should know how to deliver them. So that's very, very important. Know-how is very important. Second thing we say is that of competence. So anything that we provide should have a standard and constantly keep surpassing that standard. And the third thing that we say is that we should have the wisdom. We should use the wisdom. And the wisdom in the sense that we have a lot of experience. And this experience, if we use it for the customer's benefit, then it will be very good. For example, you see, our experience could be in a certain area which would help a company in putting their entire processes in place, or re-engineer their processes in their company, cutting short multiple cycles and making the business process much efficient, let us say. So we'll put our experience to the benefit of that organization and try to revamp their processes and provide better services. So that's typically how we do that. So we say know-how, competence and wisdom. These are 3 things on which we work.
For example, if anybody want to start a small company or a small SME, or is a private limited, or is it a limited company, it is a public limited, whatever, what you have to suggest for them?
See, organizations in say different sizes of companies, whether they are SMEs, MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises. What the services we provide to these companies are like this. We do a program called the Entrepreneur Workshop, followed by coaching sessions for these entrepreneurs. So in this, what we do is, whatever may be the stage of the company, whether they are in a pre-venture or a startup or in their growth phase, or the company is already matured, or the company is going down, any stage that they are in, what we do is that we try to coach, first of all, profile these organizations, the particular organization which comes for consulting for us. We give them a workshop, and in this workshop we basically see whether the management team has got the competencies or not. And then we sit with the management team, and then we do coaching for them to develop them. Largely, the development areas could be, we try to see what's the type of mindset these individuals have, because entrepreneurs' decisions are very, very important in the actual success of the organization. Like when we say mindset of the entrepreneur should be a very independent thinker. The entrepreneur should be able to take risks in a very calculated manner. So things like that which come into the mindset aspect. Then the other thing is that of self-management. And when we say self-management, the individual needs to be very action-oriented. Quite should be disciplined in taking action on items which require immediate attention. Okay, so aspects like that are very important. Also should be able to multitask, because most of the entrepreneurs in smaller companies will be doing all the works all by themselves, like accounting, marketing, operations. Look at any of these, they will be doing it all by themselves. So aspects like this, the individuals need to be quite ready in the self-management area. The other two areas that we focus on, how these people deal with others. Like business means you should be able to go to others, talk to them, network with them, and initiate discussions about your company, promote your company very well, and deal with others and get that. And the last one, which we say, is more of business orientation. And when we say business orientation, the individual need to know what type of planning is involved in the organization. Like, how should I plan my organization in the next 5 years? Or sometimes next 10 years. Because whenever you go for funding or whenever you go to anybody for investment, people will ask, what is it you're going to do for the next 5 years? So can you share your plan? So people need to have a business orientation, and also whenever an opportunity presents in front of them, they should be able to grab these opportunities and move forward. So that is basically how we kind of train these entrepreneurs.
In what segment they want to see? There is two type of companies. One is service based sector and is a product based sector. If there is any companies, they will develop. So what difference between service based business and the product based business?
See, the service based companies usually have little capital. So the working capital requirements largely will be for manpower or any technology that they want to buy, or any service operations that they want to put it in play. Basically it will be for that. If there is a supply chain involved, like you have to buy some products and then sell it, maybe for that purpose you will have to have the capital. Whereas for manufacturing, it is capital intensive.
Yes.
So the break-evens will take time. So therefore the entrepreneurs in manufacturing sector have to be much more intense in their approach in making things happen. They have to have a strong mindset, they should have the discipline, they should know how to get the business for their organization by networking with people and talking to them. And also a great amount of business orientation is required. They need a lot of planning in terms of how they will market it, what type of distribution setup that they will have. All of those things are very, very important. So fundamentally this is a shift. This is the difference that you will actually see in manufacturing or services.
Means entrepreneur should know about what happening in-house and what happening in out-house.
Yes, the entrepreneur should know basically the market. Most of the time what typically happens is not understanding the market cues, and then getting into the market will usually not give results. So it is very important for entrepreneurs to understand the market, do a market survey, need not necessarily engage a big third party to kind of do it, but understand what are the trends in the market, and if my product, if I am introducing into the market, will it really be accepted by the market? One has to do that testing, the reality testing, what we call. So you have a product, it's a big product, or is whatever the thing that you have to know whether this will be accepted by people or not. That's very important. So what we do with these entrepreneurs is that we actually help them in kind of validating their business plans, their marketing plan, and also helping them in reality testing, whether these products will really hit the market very well and move forward. So that's typically the kind of service that we provide.
See, entrepreneur depends upon two things. One is like he will go and survey the market there where there is a lack of some problem, or to find out the solution to make business. And there is another thing is copy paste.
See, there are two ways of doing. You can identify an opportunity and say, this particular solution will solve a bigger problem, and there is a business sense. You can do that, or you can do a copy paste. Copy paste in the sense that big trainers like Brian Tracy and all, they say that you copy a particular big brand, for example, and replicate it as it is. You can be successful. Right? He says that if you copy a millionaire and do all those things a millionaire has done, so it is a good possibility that you become a millionaire. So, for example, if you want to copy, say, Pulla Reddy sweets, and certainly you will have Harsha Reddy sweets or any other sweets. So you have plenty of them in the market already.
But we need to add the value-added services.
You can add value-add services in that, or you can copy it as it is and do it. But wherever there are patents involved and all that, it is going to be difficult. Like, for example, copy could also be Uber, for example, has been copied by Ola and you presented exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So there are certain value additions if you do, you will be quite beneficial.
Yes.
Like, for example, if you go to Keshav Reddy, which is again a sweet shop.
Yeah.
Now in Keshav Reddy you will also have, apart from sweets, you will also have other snacks. Okay, so that is a billing opportunity for that particular business. So you can put some very good products or services in your entire this thing, and then move forward. So that will really help.
Most entrepreneurs, they don't want to take risk. They will copy paste, like see now how Ola came, how from Uber how they copied, like Flipkart from Walmart how they copied. See, they are successful businesses. So same thing they are copying and they are starting, and there is no innovation happen in the startups as of now. What they succeed.
Correct. See, if you copy paste, certainly there is no innovation in your business. You are not coming up with a new model. Okay, but copy paste is world over considered as a mantra to kind of make money. It's easier to make money. You don't have to reinvent the whole wheel. Also, the concept is like this. The concept is seen from this perspective, that the second mover advantage is much better for monetizing the idea than the first mover. So let's say, for example, Uber came first. Let's say that, and Uber encountered a lot of problems. Ola may have eliminated those problems. Okay, so things like that. So there is a company which is a first mover, and the B company which is a second mover eliminates all the problems that A has gone through and then does this. So there is an advantage in doing that too. So you have to innovate. No matter what it is, you have to innovate. But usually what happens is that sometimes innovation, you don't know whether it is really working on the ground or not.
It's like assumption.
It's like an assumption, okay? And also innovation should also be, you may innovate any new idea or a solution to a problem, but there should be a problem which should exist, and the problem should be large enough for you to solve, so that your business model will be scalable, and over a period of time you will make money. So that should be there in the thing. So that's very important. So are you solving a bigger problem? Is your business scalable? Is your business having a lot of future? Okay, so if you can do that, then nothing like it. You have to keep on inventing on that, but it is definitely good. For example, take Swiggy.
Yeah.
So what Swiggy has done? Swiggy has stopped you from, people want to be at home.
Yeah.
Especially, if you go around in Hyderabad and see on a weekday,
yes,
you will find most of the restaurants, are quite empty. Not every restaurant is full.
Yes.
But on a weekends, if you go, restaurants are full. And when you have an IPL match, of course you don't have an IPL match now, when you have an IPL match or some Big Boss or any of those things going on in TV, and you want to sit along with your family,
yes,
and you don't want to cook, so the best thing you have is Swiggy.
Yeah.
Order something on Swiggy and you get it. And they give a lot of deals.
yes.
Okay. So what did you save in Swiggy? Your travel time, you have saved, what movie that you wanted to watch, you watched. All of those things you have actually benefited from. So that's very important. And now what Swiggy is doing, Swiggy is like growing bigger and bigger, and it has gone into other cities. It has come to Hyderabad. It is going to other cities. So that's how things are. If you have a brilliant idea, it can definitely catch up, and then it will become a scalable model.
Yes.
And good thing about Swiggy is also that it's a cash and carry business.
Yeah.
That you pay and take it. Many businesses, especially for manufacturing, what happens is there is a credit period. So you buy the materials ahead of time, and you work on them, make a final product, and then sell the final product for some credit period.
Yes.
Most of the time. So models like this, where the money comes into your kitty faster, that is always a better thing.
Yeah.
So money should always come into your kitty much faster. That's better always.
And what is the reason the failure of the Food Panda? This also big business.
Yeah.
While the Swiggy is a new startup actually, and Food Panda is a big company, big MNC company, even though they cannot sustain. What is the reason behind that one?
See, most of the time failures happen like this, that you may have a brilliant idea and that can actually solve the problem, but your execution, if that goes very well, and not understanding how the execution needs to be done, sometimes in a cost-effective manner, sometimes in a manner that the customer wants it. If you don't do those, then you will lose out on the business. It could be Food Panda or any of those things, any of those big brands, which I don't really know. I don't have data with me that Food Panda is struggling. But yes, if brands are suffering, it is largely because of that. Not understanding what the customer wants, how it should be delivered to the customer.
Okay, and coming for the what is entrepreneur? What skill set he have to there?
See, like I told you, entrepreneur gets success from 4 things. The first most important thing the entrepreneur need to have is a very solid mindset. A mindset that he should be an independent thinker in terms of, okay, this is the idea, then I will make it happen. The person should also be an individual achiever. Like, whatever difficulties the individual is facing, he should be able to overcome, find solutions for those difficulties, and then move forward and solve those problems. He should have that capability, a lot of individual achieving capability. Then the person should also have risk tolerance. You should take risks. Without taking risk, you don't succeed in business. But if you take less risk, least risky things, if you try to choose, then the rewards will not be quite big. Okay. Then if you take too much of risk, there is a possibility that you will end up in trouble. So there is a tolerance level within which you need to take risks.
Yes.
So you need to take calculated risks. And the second thing that an individual needs to have is a solid self-discipline. And self-discipline in managing multiple things at one time. So many entrepreneurs you will see are those who are so focused. There are if they are, let's say, technical people, they are so focused in one thing, so they can't work on other aspects. Entrepreneurship is not like that. You should be focused, that is fine. But at the same time, you should have the ability to multitask. You should be able to see the finances, you should be able to see your marketing plan, you should be able to see how the operations are going on. Just to give an example. Then comes the aspect of dealing with others. How do I deal with others? In dealing with others, what is very, very important is that the person should take the initiative of going to people, reaching out to the customers, and telling them, hey, look, this is my service, this is my product, and these are the benefits that this product has got, these are the problems it will solve. And at the same time, the person should be a good networker. The person should be able to go to forums, could be CII or any of the forums, business industry forums, should go and meet people and get to know them. And the last one, which is very important, is having a solid orientation about business. How the strategies work, what are the things that I need to do. So some amount of strategic planning the individual need to have, which would mean that these are the broad goals that I will achieve in the next 5 years. So if I want to achieve this, these are the revenues that I would see, this is the expenditure that I would incur, this is the margin I will get. If the margins are in minus, that which would be in losses, then how do I overcome, what period of time I would overcome, what is the break-even period, things like this. And what would happen? So the plan should also say that, okay, how long this business will last? Will the world will change? Okay, so we need to see those kinds of things. For example, pages have come, pages have disappeared. Cell phones, normal cell phones have come, like Nokia phones are so popular. Now they have gone, you have Android and you have iOS phones. So you have these phones, your smartphones, smart TVs have come into the market. So you need to see what is fading away, what is the market trend, what will keep a business for a longer duration of time. So those assessments you have to do on a consistent basis.
Now, example like Panindra Sharma, he is a co-founder of redbus.com. He found like it's a very simple business logic, but it gives more revenue and his plan is also very good. And also Ritesh Agarwal from OE Rooms. So he started in 19 years old. He got funding, everything, but his model also is very small thing. But he created that value and he make given employment for a lot of people. So what you see, this kind of people, what they have passion and how they created.
Oh, these people are brilliant, they have come up with some fantastic models and they have scaled up the business in a significant way. One person also exited from that business and he made good money, so they are definitely fantastic models. So what we learn, so what we need to see, what entrepreneurs need to see is that what is it we learn from these models. Okay, so what you learn from these models is an excellent idea, and they know how to implement this idea. Okay, what the customer exactly wants, how it needs to be executed, what type of a team that you need to put together, what type of technology that needs to be used so that the customers have good experience. Basically, the customer wants to see this, that the experience the customer goes through in purchasing a service or a product, it should be very smooth. Okay, so those kinds of things these people have done, and they have done a fabulous work.
So
excellent idea.
Our company depends upon our last mileage.
Meaning?
Last mileage means if I give product for you, so it depends upon last mileage. Means the final thing, anything service are giving for person.
Yeah, eventually what the customer is experiencing, if you can enhance that experience, definitely that is going to work very well. I will tell you about my own service. For example, we do this entrepreneur workshop, which is one of our flagship blockbuster kind of a training program that we do. Now, if I just do the workshop and leave it there, it may have an impact, a very positive impact. But what actually makes the program great is that we actually provide a one-on-one coaching session for the entrepreneurs post the workshop. So after the workshop, we have 3 sessions with these entrepreneurs who have gone through the program, and then we sit with them and develop a 90-day action plan, and whatever they have learned in the workshop, we will make them implement it. So what happens is that the entrepreneurs, though they may have formulated an idea or perceived the concept in a particular way, but when it comes to implementation, they see how easy it is actually for implementation and how they actually benefit from this particular program. So they take the concept, put it for application, reap the benefits. So we take them through that experience, and that's why they feel good about it. So we keep receiving a lot of nominations for this workshop. So similarly, if you see Swiggy, I'll give you a simple one because most of the people use that. So on Swiggy, you just choose you have a menu, and when you press the menu opens up. It gives you navigation. It's so easy on Swiggy on a mobile phone. So you just go see what is that you want, you buy that, and then you have the person to whom it is assigned. You know who that person is who's coming to your house, at what time the person is coming. So you can plan your activities in the house. And if the person is coming late, you have a choice to cancel that order, or call them and ask them to expedite it. There are so many options that they provide, and also you can talk to somebody if you want to. Though without talking, you can get your dosa or whatever you have ordered, you will get it. But at the same time, you want to talk to Swiggy, you will be able to talk to them. So that's the way the experience they have created. Oyo rooms also. What Oyo has basically done is that fantastic. Nobody wants to spend a lot of money. You may be making a lot of money, but you don't want to spend money on hotels. Okay. So Oyo rooms have taken rooms inside hotels which Oyo will maintain to their standard. So what happens, you may find, okay, this hotel is not okay, but if you actually see Oyo, the confidence that Oyo wants to build is, come to our Oyo rooms, to the hotel where we have a tie-up, come there. But the room is maintained by me, Oyo, so you will have a good experience.
Yes.
So when you go there, the pillows, the bed, quality and the kind of things that they have got, it may not be like a 5-star hotel, but for the price that you're paying, you will get the value. So that's typically how this is.
And who should to attend this program?
The program which we are doing, the entrepreneur workshop, which is followed by 3 coaching sessions, should be attended by entrepreneurs, people who own businesses, or people who are professionals who help business owners in running the business, like CEOs, COOs, vice presidents, people who have profit and loss account, that is what we call P&L account responsibility. Those are the ones who should join this workshop. It is very good for business owners and their managers who manage the business on a day-to-day basis.
And by coming to this program, what they will gain and what before they have, what they will get now?
See, by coming to this workshop, the entrepreneur workshop, the participants will get the following. One, before the workshop, they will be going through 2 assessments. So one is an assessment which is by Dr. PMN, who has authored a tool called Entrepreneur Edge. He has 3 other colleagues with whom he has authored this particular thing by doing a 20 years research. So we have a license to kind of use this particular product. So we do this assessment. This is an online assessment. We administer it. And the entrepreneur will get the person will get a report once he completes the online assessment, which will have 17 entrepreneurial competencies and the scores the individual has got on them. So that is piece number 1. Piece number 2 is that I authored one talent assessment, which is more a personality based one. So what we do is that we administer this particular tool, which the participant will go through some 93 questions online. The person will go through these questions online, and the person will get about 14 pages of report on 10 behavioral competencies. Now these behavioral competencies, whether they are compatible to the entrepreneur for whatever the entrepreneur requires to demonstrate, or the competencies the entrepreneur needs to demonstrate. So this will basically see the compatibility. This personality will see the compatibility for it. For example, if the individual has to be very independent minded, should be an individual achiever, so we will see what is the achievement drive scale of the individual, which on a personality basis questions, we get to know the individual's achievement drive, and then we link it up to the competencies that are required in the entrepreneur tool, which we kind of administer. Okay, so we see these we compare this, see the compatibility of that, and then once these assessments are over, we do a 1-day workshop. The individual participant comes for a 1-day workshop. In that 1-day workshop, we take them through these 27 competencies. 17 competencies of Dr. PMN, 10 competencies of mine. We take the individual through that, make the person understand, look, these competencies mean this, and this is the behavior shift, this is the new skill that you need to develop, all that we will do. So once that is over, what we do is that some people opt for the coaching, some people don't. So those who opt for coaching, what we typically do is that we take them through 3 one-on-one coaching sessions. This coaching session is one-on-one. So nobody will be there, me and the participant will sit down, and we decide what should be the growth areas for this individual. So usually we pick the low scores and whether those low scores are impacting the individual's business or not, we see that, and accordingly we kind of identify the growth areas, and we work on the growth areas by developing a 90-day plan. So what I do is I am with them for the next 90 days. So I have created a template which they have to fill on a day-to-day basis, which I monitor. On a day-to-day basis I monitor. I speak to them on a once in a week basis, and they can have the session whenever they want. So though we say the 3 sessions we provide, some people take 6 sessions, 8 sessions. There are people who have taken like that. So we are absolutely open. Those who want to develop, we are with you all the way.
And in this program, there is any work exercise is there?
Yes, this workshop is completely dependent on group activities. So a lot of group activities will be there. It will be highly interactive. So when the workshop is over, nobody will really know because the time will fly like that. A lot of presentations the entrepreneurs will make, so the participants will really get a rich experience. One, the program is so beautifully designed that they will enjoy it. More importantly, what we do is that we select the participants coming to a workshop. So we bring quality entrepreneurs into a workshop who want to develop. See, usually what happens in coaching is only successful people want coaching. Okay, like for example, Tendulkar wants to become better, so he would go for coaching. Of course, he retired now. Let's say for example, Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli needs a coach to kind of, for playing certain shots. PV Sindhu requires a coach to kind of help her overcome certain problems. So usually, successful people have coaches. So the participants who come to a workshop are successful people and they want coaching, and that's what we provide.
And if any entrepreneur, he can come up with an idea, how he can enhance in that single day?
What happens? It's not a single. See, entrepreneurship is a long journey.
Yeah.
So it is not a one day affair. Okay, it is not a one day thing. It's a long term journey. So that needs to be kept in mind. So that is why what we do is that one day cannot solve the problems. One day cannot enlighten you to every aspect of entrepreneurship. Therefore, we do that 90 days. So what typically happens is a lot of people say even 90 days is not enough. 90-day action plan is not enough. I want a 1-year plan. I want a 2-year plan. So there are people who have signed me up for a 2-year plan, a 1-year plan.
And in this, what my personal experience, I finished my BTech. Is that BTech does not help me to get to business or improve my business or anything, but only the mindset it helps for me. Just my certification, yes, I have bachelor, I have like doctorate, I have like this only. So what do you say that?
See, what happened in our country is that we are not putting people through the education system in a way that it will help us. See, we should be very happy that we produce some 12-14 lakh engineers each year, okay? But how are these people how are these people really doing engineering work? Not many are doing engineering work. Majority of them, you find them doing some other odd work. They study one thing and do something else, okay? So what we need to basically do is that we should come out of this vicious cycle. How it will happen, who should do, the government certainly has to play a very big role in kind of doing it. But more importantly, there should be a solid partnership that should happen between the education system and the corporates and whoever is providing employment. Government also provides, railways also provides. So there are governmental institutions which run in an autonomous manner. There are government institutions which are completely dependent on the government. So we need to basically see how this will merge and collaborate and then play a great part. But our education system somehow has gone down. Take for example MBAs. We have so many MBAs coming in. Okay, MBAs are usually for if you go abroad, and basically if you see in US or any other country, you will see that MBAs typically go to management positions. But our MBAs are used as clerks in many companies. Like you do an MBA in HR, you will be posted in some time office or some mundane HR activity. So though it is helpful, the courses are helpful, but calling MBA and then putting them into clerical positions, that's somehow not fair.
Now coming for education, very biggest role for a child or a human for anything is education. So now if you see that Indian education or abroad education, so if they are doing, after education they are doing research, they are not doing jobs. So after enhancing their talent and they are doing some innovations and discoveries, anything. So why Indians, most people, they are not having that kind of facilities, or government they are not providing. So what happened?
See, if you see any developed country, it is not just the government which does that. It is also the private enterprise which actually does that. So just fixing the blame on the government and saying government is not doing enough and all that, I don't think is the right thing. In fact, if you look at what Modi government has been doing, is a phenomenal work that they have done. A lot of structural changes they have done for promoting innovation, for promoting a lot of incubation centers. Even Telangana government has taken massive steps in towards that, and particularly KTR, is kind of is considered to be a hero in the way that he is going about things. So coming back to the education part, see what is happening is most of these courses are becoming like vocational courses, like a degree, engineering, electrical engineering, a person does and works in some other area altogether. So you go to say companies like Google, companies like Uber, these are companies which are providing employment. Google of course is providing a lot of employment for young engineers. Okay, now if you actually go and see, these people work in AdWords, these people work in digital marketing, these people work in different areas. So they are engineering background, but doing completely different areas. You go to other financial sector companies where you need BCom graduates and all that, engineers doing some data entry work and things like that. So the significance of education is completely lost. That is one. Two, the throughput. Say you're getting about 14 lakh people into the market, engineers, and you don't have those many number of jobs. Okay, earlier engineers used to have jobs in manufacturing setup. Then subsequently it became IT setup. Even in IT you don't have so many jobs. Okay, so that's how it is going on. So there has to be at a macro level, there has to be some understanding about where the jobs would come from, what type of people we require, because our biggest strength is our people. Okay, and we are somehow not been able to utilize that. We have the capability of, we send people abroad also. If you look at the healthcare in Dubai or any of the GCC countries, if you try to look at that, most of them are Indians. You see doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, anybody you see, these are all Indians. Majority of them are Indians. So the point is this, the point is that India has got huge potential, but at a macro level, the government and the private enterprise both together should work out ways of ensuring that we get the talent which is correctly educated, in the way that they will contribute to the industry and then move forward. Like we have so many BPO jobs which people do, right? So what is the training you are doing for them? Of course, companies give a lot of training for them and then take them in. But you take all kinds of people, because of the lack of opportunity for engineers, they go to any job that comes in front of them.
And most of the people, after they do engineering or PhD, they go for job in abroad and they want to prove their talent or something. But other companies, even European companies, they're very small companies. It's like how much our size of the district. There is a countries, even though they are picking big talented peoples from global. So why our people, they are shifting there from here?
See, basically it is opportunity. See, let's say I do PhD, say in chemistry. So the opportunity that I may get is to work in a pharmaceutical company as a researcher. I don't get an opportunity there. I may go to a college and work as a lecturer or a professor. But if I look at opportunities abroad, I may get into a bigger research. Somebody offers me a job for which I studied. So it is purely opportunity. Whoever provides you the opportunity, you go there. If you look at all the doctors who are now running hospitals in India, except for a few who are doing it through a private equity company or whatever, so most of the doctors who came back and settled down, like Dr. Pratap Reddy of Apollo Hospitals came back and settled down. Dr. Ajay, who was a HCG cancer hospital, so he also came back and settled down here. So there are people who will come back and settle down. If there is an opportunity, people will do, definitely. Why not? When Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, he asked for a reverse brain drain. So a lot of people, Sam Pitroda and people like them have come back.
Yes.
So he brought in a huge telecom revolution. So there are a lot of people who are coming back and then doing it. So the only thing is about opportunities.
Yes.
For a population of our size, providing opportunities is not an easy thing.
Yes.
And we are also seeing across the globe, we are seeing a jobless growth, which means that there are no jobs, but the growth is happening.
Yes.
Right?
Now, Indian government, they came up with some ideas like Stand Up India, Startup India, and Entrepreneurial and Skill India.
Correct.
So, how is it really helps to end of the, or for a layman or for end of the person? It will reach.
Yes, certainly it will definitely help. Like for example, say, let's say somebody wants to start a car wash center. Okay. Now he would require some capital, and the government is providing through Mudra and a few other programs which they have. So what he can do is he can approach the bank, show them the plan, saying that this is what I require and this is the capital that I am putting in. So somebody who is not educated can start a car washing center. So he will have some opportunity of doing it. Look at the number of cab drivers we have in Hyderabad. You have over 1 lakh, or I don't know, maybe around 2 lakh cab drivers we have. So what happened to all this? The company which has come, Uber, Ola, etc., who have come into our market, have tied up with the dealers like Tata Motors, Maruti Suzuki and all that, and they got them loans and then gave this opportunity. Now whenever you sit in a cab and you drive and you see, though they may have a lot of issues with the company, but these cab drivers are earning around 20,000, 25,000 rupees.
More than software engineer job.
But some of the entry-level software engineers earn that kind of money.
Yeah.
But the issue is that this person has to be in the cab driving it for about 10 hours, 12 hours, like that. So they also formed some
Incomes.
Some union and to discuss with the companies to renegotiate rates and all that. And the companies also have been fair enough in saying, okay, we don't need a union and all that at this point of time, but yeah, we will also consider. So some companies have taken the view and sorted out their issues. Some are happy and some are not happy. Even if you form a union and you call for a strike and you say, I don't want to ride my cab on the road because you're not giving me a fair rate, all drivers don't cooperate because they will lose the opportunity of making money for the day because they are all dependent on that.
Yes.
Okay, so in a very complex environment, there are multiple opportunities that have actually presented ourselves. But our mindset is that our mindset is always this, that why the government is not providing a very secure job. So gone are those days of having a secure job. Employees also are not sticking to see, the companies also want secured people, so to speak. When I hire somebody, I want them to work with me for 10 years. But who is sticking around? Nobody is sticking around. People are leaving. Similarly, on the other side, you understand what I'm saying? So basically, the different innovative ways it should come. Okay, though when Prime Minister Modi was talking about Pakoda, it was blown out of proportion. Of course, there will be political advantage for a statement like that. But if you take the essence of what he may have meant, is that there are opportunities for you if you see a company selling food services to that company, you make money.
Yes.
How many women entrepreneurs are not making these tiffin carriers and all that and delivering it to them?
Yeah.
So see, 2-3 things we should take it out of our mind. Number one, we should have the dignity of labor. Whatever work that I do, it is good. There is nothing like one job is poor, very bad, That kind of thing should go out of our understanding. So number one, so dignity of labor should be there. You should, whoever does the work, you should appreciate that. So first of all, the person going through, you doing that should actually have that.
Yes.
Okay, so that is one thing that we need to very strongly do. That's it. You can ask the next question.
Okay. And sorry, I forgot some question.
See, so the aspects are that one, you should have the dignity of labor. That is one thing that we should say, that no job is less, no job is too big. So for you are doing a job with a lot of dedication. The returns may not be as much as you've expected. Okay, but still, go ahead, do that rather than not doing anything. So that's the mindset that one needs to have. Okay, yeah.
And see, actually, this is the right question or not, I don't know. But so many people, they think about, I need a government job.
Yeah.
Okay, is it secure? Like this, they are thinking, I need government job. But in their coming for their track record, but they don't like to. Their children are for government schools, and they don't like what government propose, what opportunities they are giving. They don't like, and finally they need a government job.
See, government job is required because the salaries will come on time, the increments will come on time, the promotions will happen on a periodic basis. Sometimes without merit also you it may not be the case in all the time, but you get periodic promotions in government, so with which the salaries will go up and all that. In a private sector, if say good companies will pay on time, there are a lot of companies are not doing well, they're not paying for months together. So everybody wants some secured income, there is no doubt about it.
Yes.
Okay, but if the government has to ensure that all jobs are from government side, and that's very tough. But what government should do is that whatever vacancies that are there in the government, because of that there is laxity in the government execution of work, government should first fill those jobs. Our government is not very poor. We are one of the countries with good income for the government, and they are collecting good money also.
Yes.
So I think they should close all these positions.
Yes.
That they should do.
As an entrepreneur, what books you can suggest?
Well, of course, there are plenty of books which people should go through that. There are plenty of books that are good, that entrepreneurs should definitely read. There are books on the startup. This is a book that the Lean Startup. The person can actually go through this book. Okay, Lean Startup. This is about a person who had difficulties in entrepreneurship journey and all that. So there are plenty of books which people can actually read. Amazon and bookstores, if you actually go there.
Can you list one?
There are of course plenty of books which entrepreneurs will benefit from. These are books that they need to definitely read. The book that I most recommend is the Startup, the Lean Startup. This is one of the best books that I've read through. And the other book, which is also very important, is the book called The Goal. The Goal is a book which actually it's a very interesting book. Because I recommend that you definitely read that. I don't want to reveal whatever is there in it, but the essence is this in that book, that what kind of struggles an individual goes through in making a project successful is the story in The Goal. So read this book. The scrolling below, I'm sure the TV channel will show you what those books are.
Finally, what message you can give for the youth and for the entrepreneurs?
See, message for entrepreneurs is that you have to be fundamentally very strong if you want to be successful in your entrepreneurial journey. So you must not forget that your mindset is the most important element. And if the entrepreneur mindset is very good, the enterprise will certainly see the success. The second thing the entrepreneur should keep in mind is self-management. The person should be very highly disciplined in whatever the person is doing. And the third thing is how you deal with others in basically promoting your business, and also networking with people to get to know how the market trends are. And then finally, you need to have solid business orientation, which would mean that what is my business at this point of time, vis-a-vis how it will be 5 years down the line, what changes I may have to bring, how the market is going to go, how I'm going to keep tab on the market trends, and how I'm going to improve my, so because entrepreneurship is a day in day out job, so one has to be at it all the time with future in mind. That is the message for the entrepreneurs. For the students, what is very important is education is very important. So take your education very seriously. Whatever you have studied, whether it is electrical engineering or whether it is EC, you will have job opportunities which are in the similar field. So try to search for them all the time. Also see what are the trends that are available in the market. So this is more an advice for the parents. What we typically think of our children is this, that put them through an engineering course or put them through the medicine. Medicine is okay because if they become doctor, there is no retirement, they can be on their own and they can do that. But how about other opportunities? You can look at making your kids CA, you can look at giving them graduation and MBA in a proper institute. You can also ask them to pursue English language because English is a major problem in our country. So why not make your child an English lecturer, okay, which is a great opportunity. I have seen people, students who have pursued PhD in physics, applied for a visa in US, going there and becoming very big in the area of physics. Okay, the point is this, the point is that if students are very determined to use their education in a proper way, they will find avenues. There are avenues, there are plenty of cases. See, Sarvagnya Solutions Private Limited is a company that I have founded 8 years ago. And the services that we provide are in the areas of organization development and transformation change. So what service this basically means is we help organizations to achieve their goals. So once goals and what type of people that should be there in the organization, what type of culture that should be there in the organization, so we prepare organizations for that. The other service that we provide is process reengineering. We understand what type of processes are there in your organization and how effective they are to kind of deliver it to your customers. Whether these processes are in a very robust manner or not is something that we can audit. And then wherever required, we automate these processes and make your processes really robust. And the other service that we provide is in the areas of talent management, where what we do is that we get your people ready for the aspirations your company has got. We use a lot of internationally renowned talent assessments for entrepreneurs, for your vice presidents, or that is top management, mid management. We use these assessments. And then we also have a service called e-learning. The e-learning basically provides you a platform for learning management system. So you can put all your learning management system on our platform and give it to your and assign it to your employees. So this is typically how we do it. For more information, please visit our website www.sarvagnya.in. This is our email. Our email ID is also for more information if you want. Info@sarvagnya.in. Thank you.